Do you want to roll a perception?
Sure.
It'll be like a minus. It's just past the archway, so I'll do a -4 penalty for you to notice it, especially because you can't hear anything.
Yeah, no. God, we're all not rolling good.
So you won't notice, but Star will notice. So Star, you will have the neutron pack on, but now you have to decide what's the bigger threat here. Is it the furniture or is it the 6 suits of armor with swords?
It's definitely the 6 suits of armor with swords. So Star's gonna back up and he's gonna grab Gina's chin and he'll go like, he's like, oh man, he'll be like, oh man, Gina, the suits of armor, they're getting close, and he's gonna get his gun ready. Go ahead.
Alright, you cover 5 of the others, I can actually fight, so.
The last detail we'll make, and it's your choice if you want to take advantage of this or not, but, because I think it's appropriate, this hallway is your very typical Scooby-Doo hallway of doors. You know how where there's always that chase scene in Scooby-Doo where they're like going back and forth between the doors. It's that. So just letting you know that exists.
Okay.
You know, just letting you know.
Oh my god.
I feel like you have to do it, but
yes.
It's up to you. You kind of have to do it.
Oh my god. So I'm gonna say, so he's gonna shoot at one of the armors to like knock it back.
Yeah, you'll shoot one, but there's still 5 more.
Right. He'll be mouthing, like looking at Black Powder, saying, he said, we gotta worry about the other because Star's scared about splitting up again because what happened last time.
Star, you work on getting the others over here, because she still has the hoe that she brought with her, which could be a weapon, so it's like, I'll hold these ones off as long as you get the others here, and she's gonna snap the end off and start using it almost like a fighting baton.
Cool. Yes. Nice. What is the rest of the group doing? So right now, none of you know that the suits of armor have come alive, but you do know that the ballroom is chaos. It seems like any person who will now go into the ballroom is probably going to be attacked by furniture.
Frankie still wants to dance.
You can still dance if you want.
Yes, Frankie will still want to dance. So I rolled an acrobatics check to try to grab something and dance to something, and I just made it. And Frankie finds this enormous coat hat rack.
Awesome. Yeah.
And starts to do a pole dance.
Okay. Sweet. Okay, so you'll go over to the coat rack. Even though there's a lot of chaos going on, you get to the coat rack, and once you start like dancing around the coat rack stops its violent thrashing and just kind of, goes with it. Just goes and just starts dancing with you. So the furniture now seems to be ignoring the other hoe.
As I do my little pole strip dance all the way through the ballroom towards the exit.
So now you have in your possession, Frankie, an enchanted hat rack pole thing. It's now in your inventory.
Yes, I'm gonna use that as a weapon, baby.
It's a possessed, yeah. I love how this slut's weapon is a pole.
So fitting.
Dancing Queen.
Dancing Queen. Okay. How about the people who are left? So we've got Veed and Carmen and Sam now, I think. Plus, Tori. Tori hasn't technically crossed either, so it's up to you what you want to do at this
I was
point.
staying behind to make sure everyone else crossed safely. So do we have to dance? Still, it seems like dancing is working really well.
Yeah, just better than Reggie. I'll try to
It's been
dance
a long time
across.
since he danced, yeah.
Maybe it would be easier if we partnered up, Carmen says, like looking towards Sam.
Sam, please tap dance.
Oh,
It's a great idea, partnering up.
Okay.
Are you gonna waltz or are you gonna tap dance? I guess is my question. If you tap dance, you don't have to partner up, I don't think.
Yeah, I'll do the tap dancing, singing in the rain.
Yeah, you can try that. Yeah, go ahead, Sam. If that's the case, then I think Carmen will say, oh, well, if Sam's gonna do his thing, maybe Veed and I can couple up then. Veed says, sure, I'm down for that. So, what'd you get? Oh, 13 out of 11. Okay, but are you wearing your god shoes? The god shoes that you
Yes.
that I said gives you a +2 bonus to dancing?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yes. So,
Ooh, that just puts me there.
yes, cool. Remember your relics.
Come on,
Remember
Fred
your
Astaire.
artifacts. So, yeah, give us a visual. Give us a visual dancing in the rain.
Oh, I know. I'm not good at dancing, so it would just be the whole sliding and kicking and doing the spins, tapping away.
Yeah. The nerd does a pretty darn good job of tapping his way past the chaos. So yeah, the furniture is still clearly violent, but because of that roll, Sam does seem to be able to maneuver around without getting hit by anything, and they don't seem to be targeting him at all. They're not ignoring him, but they're not targeting him, and so you're able to like sort of dodge out of the way, and Fred Astaire your way to the doorway. Okay, so now we have Carmen and Veed. So Veed has shoes, so I'm going to take that into consideration. And because they're couple dancing, they actually will get a bonus to this as well. Yeah. So Carmen and Veed, they're sort of like, Veed is like, I'm not really sure how to dance. And Carmen says, okay, it's just a 3-step. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So she's just giving him a crash course of like 30 seconds. And then she's like, look, how about I lead? And hope for the best. And Veed kind of says, sure. And so they're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And Carmen just gonna keep saying that out loud. 1, 2, 3. And then they will be able to waltz their way past the chaotic furniture.
Nice.
Awesome.
I see her back leading, pulling him like.
Now the thing is, while all of this happening, there's still like a half a dozen armor suits coming at you. So that we need to resolve that really quickly to sync everything up. So, Regina, you do feel like you can probably overpower a couple of the suits of armor, but realistically, against 6 of them, even with your jock strength, it's probably going to be too much until the rest of the gang gets here, at least.
The goal is just to keep him away from Star.
Okay.
Basically.
You don't think you're going to be able to do that for very long. So what are the two of you doing at some point? Because I think if you don't do something else fast, I will start rolling attack rolls and start applying damage. So tell me what you want to do.
Because at this point, the others are still on their way over, right?
They're still making their way over. I think Sam's about to tap dance, but he's not going to get to you in time. You're going to have to figure this out in the meantime.
What Star's gonna do, he's gonna loop his arm into Gina's and just run for one of the doors. He's just gonna go for a door.
You will loop one of your arms to Regina, assuming Regina doesn't resist.
Right.
You get to a door. The door opens easily. None of these doors are locked. So you'll run through the door, and then you've seen Scooby-Doo. How do you want this to look?
So, like, if anyone even gets closer, she's turning to fight, and then starts like
Yeah.
pulling her.
So, you know what's crazy in my head? I imagine one running away from the suits of armor, like, but then Regina's chasing them, like.
Yes.
At some point, we get split up, and then
Yeah, at some point you get
running
split
away,
up.
and then Regina's chasing the armor.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
We need someone who can animate this.
Yeah, definitely.
It's hilarious.
I see like a thing where you'll see it'll first start with Regina and Black Powder like running from them, and they just go from door to door to door, somehow magically teleporting, and then there's at one point Regina's chasing after one of them with a hoe, like, and you're still but Star's still like running away from the other 5, and then maybe there's a part where like Regina has one in the headlock, like with a like headlock, like dragging him over, and then maybe there's one where you'll see the suit of armor like fall out of the door, and he's sort of like, and then Regina comes in and like drags him through the door.
Another one where Star is like on top of one of them running, like
Right?
just carry like.
Exactly, like what is happening? Oh my god, yes.
Imagine at one point, like, Star's running out and the suit of armor comes out and they just stop for a second, then Regina comes in and just clocks them, and then, like, come on, already, hurry up.
Right? And then you start hearing Star going, Scooty, Scooty Boo, we're lost too. We're trying to find you now. Tori's looking too, and if it's true, we're gonna help you now. And if you see Seuss hold your nose and jump back, or sneeze attack, and Star's like doing cartwheels and stuff, like it's all happening.
Can there be a part where like I think there's this little bit where Shaggy and Scooby are like disguised with like fake mustaches or stuff? So give me something like that.
Star will put on a mustache and like a big old hat, and like be holding like one of those swords, and like standing against the wall, like looking like from side to side at like Gina's running by, and one of the suits of armor like stands next to him and like is examining, and starts like standing there like, but like he's like nervous, so like the sword is shaking. So yeah, all that's happening.
Hilarious.
This
Hilarious.
is so somebody has to animate this. Hilarious. Okay. It'll be at this point that Sam finally gets to the doorway tap dancing, and I'll say that you'll actually be able to witness some of this craziness across the hallway with these doors. Does Sam join in, or does he just kind of watch this unfolding in front of him?
No, he would just be like in awe of all the crazy back and forth, and yeah, he would just let it watch until Reggie got all of the suits after a time just absolutely piled up in the center of the hallway.
Yeah. I will say that by the time that Sue and Veed get there, I'll let Thistle decide, like, are all the suits just in a pile now, all 6 of them, like, completely destroyed by you, or how does it look?
Yeah, like, just because with the chasing and Regina actually fighting while Star's running away, it actually weirdly works out as a bottleneck in a weird way.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, she, like, by the time everyone else shows up, there's just, like, armor scattered. You just see a random helmet rolling back out into the ballroom.
Yeah, the suits of armor are no longer active. They're just a pile of bits and pieces of armor and rusty swords, and Frankie's there with this floating hat rack thing.
I found a friend who's a great dancing partner.
Well done, Frankie.
What are you gonna name it, Frankie? Veeds asks.
Don't name your stick. Don't. It's tacky.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna call it, rack. I don't know.
You know what? Keep it. That's actually hilarious.
Yeah. I've always wanted a good rack.
Totally unrelated to the storyline, but ask me in the vlog a funny thing about rack that involves my job. Just remember to ask me, because I thought it was kind of hilarious. But anyway, go ahead. I'm assuming that Tori just waltzes across the ballroom, or what do you do?
If she can avoid dancing, she will. She'll just go straight across.
You'll just fly past, and it doesn't seem like the furniture cares.
She's like, I'm not fucking dancing. She just goes straight across.
Yeah, the furniture doesn't care.
Yeah.
You just go right through, and you'll again see this pile of armor with like Regina right next to it.
What happened here?
Armor came to life and tried to attack.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because that happens here.
Yeah, it's normal.
Okay. So where do we go now?
I don't know. All these doors seem to link to each other in a way that does not make any sense.
So not any of these doors.
I think maybe going straight would work.
Well, that's an idea.
But I'm not straight. So why would we
I
do
don't know
that?
if. Honestly, I don't know if any of us are. Let's go.
Okay, so we go gaily forward. Got it.
Gaily forward.
Sure, you'll go gaily forward. Finally, at the end of the hallway, you'll go to a. You'll end up in a hallway that'll take you over to a living room. There's like a fireplace, mantle, and right next to the fireplace is a dollhouse.
Ooh.
I look
Tori will
over at
clap
Star.
excitedly.
You remember the last dollhouse
Star
we
will
looked
nod.
at? I'm not getting anywhere near that thing.
Wait, what was wrong with the last dollhouse?
It was like haunted and stuff.
And I tried to use magic and the doll's head came off and all these creepy crawlies came out. So Star's got to get real close to Frankie and Regina, like try to like get between them and kind of behind them a little bit. So yeah.
Yeah, I use the rack to kind of like keep a distance.
I will. Maybe there's something to this dollhouse. And Tori will approach it and just to get a closer look.
Yeah, you go over to the dollhouse, and it seems like it's an exact replica of the cabin that you and the Scooty Poo Kang went into. Almost an exact replica.
Are there like any dolls in there by chance?
Are you opening it?
Oh,
Because it's one of those dollhouses you can like open.
Ooh. Oh
You
yeah,
can
yeah,
open
yeah. Tori will open it.
You'll open it, and when you open it, there do appear to be some dolls in there. Have any of you played Little Big Planet? It's like, in Little Big Planet, there's something called a Sackboy. They're really like little cute, if you do a quick Google search, look for Sackboy or Little Big Planet. But they're like these little cute little rag dolls, and you actually see 5 of them. You see one that looks a lot like a scruffy version of a Sackboy, one that looks like Debbie, one that looks like Wilma, etc., etc., including this sack dog-looking thing, and that looks like a cross between a poodle and a Scottish Terrier, I think. And yeah, all of them are placed in the house, suspiciously in the same position that you last remembered them before you disappeared from the cabin at the very beginning. Suspiciously in the exact same rooms.
Yeah, just so I remember, in the cabin, most of them were like in the living room, and then the other 2 were in the basement.
The other 2 are in the basement of the cabin. Yeah, so in that same position. Mm-hmm.
She will wave over the others and say, well, I kind of found the Scooty Poo gang.
What do you mean, kind of?
They're dolls. The dolls. They look just like them, and this is like crazy, but this is exactly where I remember like last seeing them.
Frankie walks up to the dollhouse to look at the dolls, and
They're cute.
they're all cute.
And they don't look like they've been there for a long time like everything else in this house, because they haven't like accumulated dust. They look like they were just placed there within the last few weeks.
So I don't know what this means.
Are these dolls possessed? Because that's the last thing we need.
They don't seem to be moving.
Did you touch any of them? Did you pick any of them up? Have
No,
you picked any?
I haven't. She'll kind of take out her Tori doll too, and like pick up, we'll say, Scruffy, and try to interact with the Scruffy doll.
Sure, you'll try to interact with the Scruffy doll, and suddenly the Scruffy doll starts to move magically in your hand, and the Scruffy doll turns towards Tori Jr., not you. It turns towards Tori Jr., and it says, "Doinks! Tori, is that you?"
Yes. Does it like come through on the doll that I'm, or?
Well, you're still talking to Scruffy, and I'm assuming you're making eye contact to the Scruffy doll.
Yeah.
But the Scruffy doll's not making eye contact with you. It looks like he's having a conversation to your doll, but you're still talking from your mouth, if that makes sense. But he doesn't seem to notice that it's coming from some other mouth up here. He's still looking at your doll down there, if that makes sense.
Yes. Scruffy, oh my god.
Oh, you didn't get captured either. Are you stuck in the dollhouse too?
Captured? Okay, what do you mean by captured?
That creepy old woman. She has her trapped in the cabin, and it looks like you're trapped too. Look at yourself, he says. He's looking up and down at the doll.
So, this is gonna sound weird, Scruffy, but I think you can handle it. I'm looking at you like a doll right now, and you're in a dollhouse, and I look, well, normal, like normal size.
Oh, what? But you're right in front of me, he says, looking at your doll.
That can't be. This is weird. And she kind of turns back to the rest of the group. You remember when I was like trapped in the TV in that dollhouse? It kind of feels something like this.
Ooh, maybe can I try talking to him?
Yeah. And she'll like hand you a hand bead, the like bead doll.
He'll take the V doll and he'll kind of hold the V doll in front of Scruffy and say, oh, hello, Scruffy. And Scruffy, the doll, looks towards the V doll and says, Doink, who are you? Oh, don't be scared. I'm a friend of Tori's. Tori's, tell him. And the whole time he's like, don't worry, my name is Tori. Tell him, Tori.
Yeah, no, this is one of my friends. He's good. And she'll start to wave the rest of the group over and like hand them their like the doll that she's made for each of them so that they can talk too.
Frankie.
Scruffy doesn't seem to notice any of you all. It's like you're not even there. But he seems to notice the doll versions of you all.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tap Sam on the shoulders, like there's no lips for me to read, so would you mind being a translator?
Yeah, all of you should have your dolls and should be able to interact with Scruffy. That seems to be the only way we can communicate with them.
So, Scruffy, I wanted to introduce you to Tori's other friends. This is Frankie. This is Star. This is Sam. That's Regina. And, well, you already know. Do you have a Carmen doll out of character?
I do. Like, where is she? Yes. There's Carmen.
And there's Carmen. And Scruffy will say, "Oh, Carmen! So good to see you!" And it looks like the doll's trying to like maneuver to hug Carmen, but he can't because you're holding Scruffy, so he can't actually hug her. And oh, it's okay. I'll come to you. And then she's just gonna put the dolls together so that they hug, and it's just really cute. Wow, Tori, it's a great thing you made these dolls of us. These came in really handy.
I guess. I've always pretended that the dolls were alive, and now you guys are actually alive, so that's kind of like equally amazing and weird at the same time.
But this is how you used to do your magic.
Yeah, with the voodoo.
It's still working.
You're right. It does seem to be working.
And I'm playing around with the Frankie doll to do his little strip dance.
So,
Spinning him around the rack.
Scruffy, how did you end up like this?
Trapped, you mean? Oh, it was that creepy cabin that we were in when we went camping. I was looking for Scooty Poo and the basement, and then one moment I was down in the basement. The next moment, everything turned black, and then the next moment after that, I was back in the cabin by myself and Scooty Poo, and then all of a sudden, I'm not sure how long time had passed, but Debbie and Ted showed up, and then soon after that, Wilma did. Actually, where are they? Well, Scooty Poo, where are you?
Can Tori grab the other dolls to make them come to life too, or
Sure,
yeah.
I mean, you don't have that many hands, so some people might have to help out with that.
Yeah. She'll ask
I'll grab
the others if they can.
You'll grab Ted. Sure,
one
you'll
of
grab
the
Ted.
other ones.
I'll grab Wilma.
You'll grab Wilma? Okay. We have, and then Debbie's the only one, and Scooty Poo. Who wants Debbie and who wants Scooty Poo?
I'll grab Debbie.
You have Debbie.
There's
And then
Scooty Poo.
Sam will
Yeah,
take
Scooty
Scooty Poo. Nice. And Debbie will say, "Oh, Scruffy, there you are. You disappeared for a moment. Scruffy, what? Where is everyone? Wow. How? Did all of you get trapped into the house?" And Debbie says, "Oh, Carmen, Tori, we were wondering, we were hoping that you were both safe, but it looks like you all are trapped here too."
Yeah, but the thing is, we're not. We're all holding the doll versions of you right now, and you're inside the doll house of the cabin we were all at.
Doll versions? Dinkies. That's fascinating.
This must be Madam Maldivere's magic.
So how are we gonna get out of this mess? Ted asks. It sounds to me like we have to take out this Madam Maldivere once and for all, Wilma says.
Yeah, the trouble is I don't know where she is. She kind of just appears out of nowhere.
Sam, roll me an intelligence roll. An IQ roll. Okay. So one of the other there was another device that I failed to mention, but maybe while you were in the car, you saw something and you weren't really sure what it did, and so you're trying to figure out exactly what its purpose was. So out of character, you know how in Ghostbusters Egon has that thing that detects activity. I forgot what it's called.
PK meter.
PK meter. Okay. So it's essentially that, and I think in this moment you're I wonder.
Yeah, so I'll pull it out and start looking for readings in the room. I'll check the dolls, and I'm very Egon-ish of nerdy of checking everything, checking Frankie and his rack.
So, yeah, Frankie's actually playing with Ted, and they're just dancing together.
Oh, Ted and Frankie are dancing together, and Fred's like, "Oh, hello, you're very friendly." And Debbie says, "Did you? Wait, what's happening?" Debbie says as she sees Fred dancing with Frankie.
Bye, girl, fly girl.
Wow, the fan fiction that's going to come from this is going to be crazy. Okay.
Tails, get on it.
So I have to ask then, Alex, is this are you envisioning the classic Freddy? Are you envisioning the Freddie Prinze Jr. Freddy? Are you envisioning the recent Date Elsa Freddy, who is... if you haven't seen Date Elsa's Freddy, he's kind of my favorite right now. But anyway... Which
That's a good question. I haven't seen the newest one.
They did a good job, I thought.
Yeah.
I'll put a link.
I mean, we'll go with OG. We'll go with cartoon.
We'll go with the OG?
Well, we'll go OG. Go old school.
OG's good.
Yeah.
Cool. So Debbie's feeling a little jealous right now. But so going back to Sam, the readings on the meter, clearly you can pick up activity from the dolls, clearly from Frankie's rack, clearly from the ballroom, but there seems to be a large concentration of paranormal activity above you, in the second floor above you. Feels very obviously stronger than the rest.
Yeah, so I'll make sure everybody knows that we've got to find a way upstairs some type of a stair or something, because there's definitely something strong going on up there.
Okay.
Do we bring them with us?
Yeah, that's a good question. Can we take you guys with us out of this dollhouse? You're kind of... What is it? It looks like the cabin right now, right? Yeah, I don't know if we try, like, taking one of the dolls and taking a few steps back, if that'll do anything. If they'll still be able to interact with us.
Yeah, if you want to try that.
My concern is, last time we were here, things got pretty hairy. What happens to them if these get damaged?
I was thinking
There
if we leave the dolls in the dollhouse and we get Madam Maldivere, then are the actual people going to show up back in the actual cabin, safe and sound?
Yeah, I don't know if we have any way of knowing that.
But you know magic. What do you... Is there something that... Is there a book? Is there something? Where can we get a clue?
A clue? The dog says, Scooty Poo says, a clue.
Yeah, I mean, would Tori know anything about if these dolls were damaged, if they would be harmed? I mean, just from experience. Yeah.
Roll an occult.
Yeah. Ooh.
Pretty good.
You believe that it depends. So if they were like completely destroyed, it probably would be bad. If there was like a tear here or like a nick there, probably not a big deal. But if they were like incinerated, then that would be bad.
Well, it can take a little bit of hits, but you know, if we were to bring them upstairs where all the activity is happening, they could get destroyed, and that would not bode well for any of you.
Maybe we should leave them here then. At least it's relatively safe.
Oh no, Debbie says, you're putting us back in the cabin again? That place creeps me out.
I mean, it's better than accidentally getting incinerated, right?
That's true.
And it's only temporary until we, once we put a stop to this old hag, then maybe you guys will be released from the cabin.
That's a very good theory, Wilma says.
Theories are all we got.
Everyone roll me a perception hearing roll. So all of you who pass, you will hear heavy footsteps making its way towards this room, making its way down the hallway towards the room.
Flashbacks, trauma.
Does it sound familiar? That could be Dr. Felix.
Put them back in the house, just to be safe.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back. We're gonna take care of this, you guys. We're gonna rescue you. Just hang on tight.
I'm gonna put Ted inside and then pinch his little cute raggy cheeks. So cute.
Star will put Wilma back in and said, "You're like a girl version of Sam. Bye."
Thank you, she says.
I just basically drop her somewhere.
Yeah, you'll just plop them. Oh! That was Debbie, right? Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, rude, Debbie says. And how about Scooty Poo? You just gonna put Scooty Poo wherever in the house, Sam?
So,
are you gonna keep Scooty Poo?
I'm gonna make it look like I put Scooty Poo back. I'm gonna put that.
I love it! Yes!
So Sam, that is
amazing.
So Sam.
Yes.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Suspicious.
Yeah, just in case.
Sam's
experiment.
suspicious.
Right.
So is anyone investigating the footsteps at all? Otherwise, I'm going to continue if nobody investigates.
Well, Frankie does grab his rack, and then he goes and goes to the door. Where are we in this room with this dollhouse, or?
Yeah, you're in it's a living room. It's a living room. That's connected to the hallway.
Okay, so then I will approach the, I guess, archway or the connecting entryway.
So as you look through the archway, you hear the rumble of thunder and lightning, and of course, as soon as you look down the hallway, there's a flash of lightning, and you'll see this like hulking humanoid being with a weed whacker in his hand, and he's making his way towards. As soon as he sees you, like, he looks ticked, and he's gonna like turn on the weed whacker instinctively, and will start to charge towards your direction when he sees you.
Frankie's like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. And then he like flips back, because he just like sticks his head out like over the wall.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, we're in trouble. He turns back and is like, weed whacker guy is back.
Star's gonna be like, what was his name? And Star's gonna go for the book. And what was his name again? Out of character. What's his name?
Felix.
Dr. Felix
Dr.
Theodore.
Felix Theodore. Dr. Felix
Okay.
Theodore.
So Star's gonna be like, Star's gonna step out into the hallway
Sure.
and say, Dr. Felix Theodore, stop right there.
Yeah, you'll go out there with a book, and you'll say, stop right there, and all of a sudden, he does immediately stop as soon as he sees you. He'll drop the weed whacker, it'll clatter to the floor, and then suddenly he goes, like fixes his hair, and then he sort of like fixes his outfit, and then he'll start to slowly approach you, but not in a threatening way. He'll like start to approach you, and then he's got this, like, I would say like not a satchel, I guess a bag that he had like slumped over his shoulder, a sack of some sort. He goes through it, and then he pulls out this beautiful bouquet of roses and a box of chocolates, and he hands it towards you.
Well, this is unexpected.
Well, this is what happened last time, remember?
I don't remember. It was a very traumatic experience.
The book. Star used the book.
And then he says, I hope Micah appreciates it. He holds it out to you and he goes, stars. Very, which is very Resident Evil. He says, stars.
My heart is bursting with joy.
Can you explain to the audience what the reference is?
Yes. For those of you who don't know or are not fans of Resident Evil, there's this monster called Nemesis that chases a woman named Jill Valentine, who is a member of STARS. That's all you need to know.
Yes, and the creature goes stars like the whole time, so I had to have him say star.
I love it. I'm so happy. Star will take the chocolate and say, oh, dude, you shouldn't have. And flowers. And he's going to go like, and bat his eyelashes and say, well, and he's going to put the flowers in his pocket and say, I am married, but I'm pretty sure Stormy will understand. And he'll like give like a big stage wink to everybody else.
Dr. Felix Theodore, he's sort of like, he kind of goes a little, does a little of this, which is very uncharacteristic of him. But, I mean, hey, love conquers all.
I'm gonna go over to Tori, is like, just how disturbing is this for you right now?
Oh, very.
More so than you're flirting with Sam?
Yes.
Carmen has been like hiding behind Sam this whole time. She's like peeking up behind Sam's back and says, do you want to introduce your friend to us, Star? She says. He looks a little scary.
Oh no, that was before we got to know each other. He had this weed whacker and he was responsible for some things, but when we discovered his name, we were able to get him to be on our side. Exhibit A. And Star like holds out the chocolate. Anybody hungry? And Star kind of like opens the box.
Yeah, it's a good mix. I mean, dark chocolate, white chocolate,
Yes.
some nougat filled. Like the man's got good taste. Surprisingly, he's got good taste. So
Frankie's already eating some.
yum yum. It tastes legit. Yum yum. Yeah, I guess when Frankie starts to eat it, I think Felix will turn to you and be like, "Ugh!" It's like, how dare you take from his like candy from?
So
yeah,
he like
he'll get upset.
Frankie stops kind of like midway when he gets like growled at, but then puts it in anyways and eats it.
I will pat him on the chest and say, "It's okay. He's a friend. I'll share."
He says as he's looking towards Frankie.
Star will put one in his mouth just to try to appease him.
Yeah.
Throw one in and chew on it and say, "Oh, these are awesome."
He looks pleased that you like him.
Dr. Theodore seems like the jealous type. Okay. Hey, Star, could you ask him if he would help us fight Madam Maldivere? He has to listen to you, right?
The character, it's if they're in love with you, they'll follow your commands. Yes.
They're in love with you, yeah.
Okay.
They feel compelled to follow your commands. I wouldn't say that they completely are bound to what you tell them, but they're compelled.
Okay. So Star will look at Dr. Theodore and say, Teddy baby, there's this big baddie we have to take care of, Maldivere. Can you help us, please? We could use someone, and he's doing this to his arm, big and strong like you. Come on, what do you say?
He kind of does this kind of thing. Like, yeah, he's good with that.
So we're like, he's on our side. We're good, my dude.
All right then, Carmen says. I'll just stay back here, far away from him, if you don't mind. Carmen says. That weed whacker thing looks, I don't know. If any of that like gets close to my hair, I wouldn't. No.
Yeah, try having it close to your neck. Anyway.
Bede the whole time also was like looking at this person, like still not quite loving the idea that he's hanging out, but Bede's not saying anything.
Tori will
cool.
look at
He brought
Bede and be like, "Are you doing okay?"
I'm fine. It's just even though he's on our side, he still terrifies me.
But you're sticking with us, right? You're not.
Oh yeah, I've stuck with you all up to this point.
I'm just making sure because this is what we ran away from last
Well,
time.
doggone it, Tori. I thought you were over this.
No, we are.
I thought we made some character progression here.
Sorry. We did. I trust you.
Well, good. I trust you too.
All right, let's go upstairs.
Yeah. You will make your way up the stairs. And as you make your way up the stairs, Tori, you start hearing the beating of the drums. The very familiar tribal beating the drums that you remember from before, the last time you actually went up the stairs. And you basically will kind of retrace Tori's paths from back in session 0, I think. Either session 0 or session 1, one of the two. When she was sort of like going up the stairs and all of a sudden she starts feeling you all start feeling a little dizzy. Everything kind of feels a little trippy, psychedelic. And then the entire space around you as you reach the second floor sort of morphs around you. And the beating of the drums will continue on. You'll actually hear the buzzing of bugs, flies, bees, wasps, the buzzing of something. And as you push forward, you'll eventually find a stone staircase that takes you downwards again. So again, this is completely leading up to where you saw Madam Maldivere from before. And you will finally reach at the bottom of the staircase. And right in front of you, the scene is a little bit different. Because the last time you went down, you saw like this empty-ish room with the chair, the little seat that Madam Maldivere was in. The seat's still there, but it feels a little out of place because now you're actually outdoors again, and there is the pond that I was talking about. It feels like it's in a different time, maybe from an earlier time when the pond was a little bit better maintained. And then you see like the topiary garden around has different like animals and creatures, and they start to morph into these gnarled, monstrous looking beings. And suddenly the topiary garden creatures actually start to move and will begin to stare the group of you down, and they don't seem to be friendly.
Oh, we got company.
About fire?
Let's see if it works. She'll try to cast a fireball.
Roll a magic roll.
13 out of 15. Oh, it does work.
There's something about the energy in this specific space. You reach into the nether realm, into the connection that you normally would feel outside of this world, and somehow you feel like you are able to tap into it just as well as you did before. And yeah, you throw a fireball at one of the creatures. Let's say it's like a wolf or something, a dire wolf looking thing, and it gets enveloped in flames.
Oh, it does work. Okay. Maybe some Star, does your magic work?
Star will be, let's try it. Star can talk to animals and see what they tell him. Got a 13 out of 15.
So, Star is only able to succeed in magic in this world if he crits. So it's not a crit, so it doesn't work. Even if you did, these are not technically animals. Like, they look like animals, but at the end of the day, they're enchanted topiary bushes.
Star's gonna look at you and say, I got nothing, Tori.
Okay, so this is where we're at again.
Dr. Felix Theodore, like, turns on his weed whacker. Have that.
Yeah. And Star was like, but we got him. And he'll be like, sick 'em, boy.
And your neutron packs. Light them up.
And Veed says, oh, don't forget, it's the next day also. So we also have another use of the grenade. So right now, Dr. Theodore, he has his weed whacker, and he's gonna charge into the fray. And yeah, he's gonna start like tearing up, ripping up the topiary guards. Now there's still a lot of them. So even for him, he probably would not be able to take them all on his own. So he definitely will need some backup while he's just hacking away at all of these creatures.
Might as well. I'll try the grenade.
Yes.
Yeah. You throw the grenade, Regina, right into a group of them. And what do you get? Let's see what you roll.
Let me take a look. It's a D10. 9. Disco.
Nice! Okay. You throw it into the middle of the topiary creatures, and there's probably like a dozen of them. All of a sudden, in that surrounding area, there's flashing lights, like 1970s, like Saturday Night Fever music playing, and these topiary garden creatures start disco dancing, like on the spot for several seconds. And Carmen is like, what the F? Just this going on? She seems really confused.
It's just a thing we're still playing around with. But at least they can't attack us while they're doing that.
And since they are just distracted dancing, it does let Dr. Theodore just like take out those 12 pretty darn easily, since they're not resisting. How about the rest of you all? How are the rest of you all dealing with the rest of the topiary garden creatures?
Sam will definitely be trying to blast him with the neutron pack.
Rick is gonna put his rack down and join the fray with the neutron pack. Gets it going.
All right.
And make sure not to cross the streams.
Yeah. Carmen is going to tell Veed, quick, Veed, the traps! And Veed will throw the trap in, Carmen will step on it, and you'll start to catch, one at a time, a bunch of ghosts. But then, when it seems like you've been able to thin out half, I would say half of the topiary garden creatures, you'll start hearing a cackle, a very evil cackle, and this largest, smoky-looking figure that has the silhouette of an old woman, with big, large, glowing red eyes, and she just looks very demonic and evil. And she starts looming over all of you, and she's just going to be flying around, trying to basically summon more plants and bramble, just shooting up from the ground to transform into other evil topiary garden things. So she's just going to be flying around and trying to cause more mischief.
I want to try to target that entity with the neutron pack.
So she is moving pretty darn fast. So I would like for you to roll an attack roll.
Can I use my guns?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. You will make a direct hit at the ghost. Now she is more powerful, so it slows her down. But you don't believe that you alone are going to be able to keep her steady enough to trap her.
Yeah, so I'm just going to call out for Frankie, Star. Everybody, get your beams on her.
All right.
Okay.
If anyone else wants to go next, I will ask you to roll, but the order matters because the more of you hit it, the more steady she will be. So for the time being, if you want to hit her right now, you're going to have a penalty to hit her. So it'll be right now it'll be at a -2 penalty for the next person who tries to hit her with the neutron pack.
I'll give it a try with IQ. I missed.
So you will miss, and I'm just going to say that maybe some thorny vines, get summoned around your feet and wrapped around your legs, and it'll just prick your legs, dealing 2 points of penetrating damage. It does 2 points of penetrating damage, and I'm gonna say because it's being targeted you specifically, Dr. Theodore will stop what he's doing and he will actually run towards you to try to take care of the weeds. But that means he's not busy getting rid of the topiary gardens because he's more focused on you at the moment.
I'll give it a shot, I guess. I failed.
So you'll miss. I'll say that a very similar thing happens. You take another penetrating 1 point of damage. 1 point of penetrating damage. I didn't roll very well.
I'm gonna try. No.
So things are looking pretty bad, Tori. They're trying to hit her, but it looks like if nobody can hit her with the pack, she's gonna break free. And I'll tell you what happens if she breaks free.
Oh my gosh. I think I'm just gonna try to weaken her as best as I can, and
Okay, how?
with more fireballs, use some of the magic she gave me against her.
Try it.
I'm trying to think. So I will try. Hey, you old hag. Leave my friends alone, but I got a 16 out of 15.
Oh no! You attempt to reach into the ether, but somehow, you just don't quite manage to cast the ball, and Madam Maldivere will break free from that. And as soon as she breaks free from that, I would like for everyone to roll a will save that's not Tori. Everyone roll a will save who's not Tori. Oh no! Did Sam fail? Okay.
Yes. Is this
Sam.
for fright?
It's not a fright. It's unfortunately not a fright. So she will immediately dive into Sam's body. Sam, you're gonna be possessed. What does Sam have on him that could possibly be used to attack the rest of the party? Does he have anything, just out of curiosity, other than a neutron pack?
Well, the neutron pack for sure.
Fire at Tori with a neutron pack.
Right.
Go ahead and roll your guns roll and succeed.
my god.
Of course, this one you succeed.
Roll a dodge, you said?
Unless I don't think you can parry a neutron pack bullet beam, so I would say dodge.
Okay, hang on.
I'll get you, my pretty.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
8 versus 8?
Okay, so I think you just manage to get away from the beam, but you have a feeling you probably won't be able to keep this up for too long unless somebody somehow intervenes. Sam, while you're being possessed, take 2 points of IQ damage. So your IQ is going to be like depleted every single round. If it hits 0, you're essentially going to be brain dead while she's in possession of you. Everyone else has a chance to act this next round before I roll to deplete more of Sam's IQ. But he's a nerd, so he probably can resist it for quite some time.
I'm gonna run up and try and get him into a grapple so he can't use that gun against Tori again.
Okay. Roll. I guess it's an opposed strength, which probably the jock versus the nerd is probably okay. So if Sam, you want to use an opposed strength, I would roll an opposed strength against the jock. You succeeded. All right. I'm going to invoke bad luck on Black Powder. Roll 2 more times and take the worst of the 3 rolls. Okay.
Well, no, with my strength bonus for being a jock, it just
Then
succeeds.
you're fine. You succeed. Just succeeds. All
I get a
right.
+2 to my strength as well.
You manage to restrain Sam, so he will not fire the weapon at least this round against Tori. I will still let other people act this round. Star, unfortunately, I think you're still struggling with the roots, so you probably wouldn't be able to act this round.
I will run towards Star to help free Star from the vines.
Okay. And as you're running to Star, the rack is following you. It's just floating
Yes.
behind you.
Yes.
For Tori, she's definitely going to try what she did before with the Admiral. And she's like, all right, Sam keeps getting possessed. Get the hell out of my friend, you old hag. And then she'll go in there and try to get her out.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your occult, I think is what you used last time. Ritual
magic.
Yeah, take a disadvantage on this.
Oh, 9 out of 15. The
Okay.
worst.
You're going to try to force Madam Maldivere out of Sam. And with that roll, you'll be able to take her out in the next round.
Okay.
So I'll resolve this round first before that happens. So you're just kind of trying to will her out of him. Meanwhile, I think Carmen in tears that Sam's being possessed. So she's probably going to like run up to Sam to try to help with the situation. Not sure what she's going to do to help with the situation. And then for the very first time, you will hear Veed say, flavor power, change up! And Veed will transform into the male version of Sailor of Flavor and he will, when he transforms, the version of him, instead of having a giant frying pan, he has these 2 chef knives that look like a katanas, basically. 2 giant katana chef knives that he sort of spins around like Cloud does in Final Fantasy VII. And anime style, he's just gonna charge in and just start like hacking all of the topiary gardens. And he's just be like, he's gonna say something like, Julian attack! Chiffonade strike! and all of the topiary gardens are cut up into perfectly herbal, like, sliced pieces.
Nice.
So that'll distract things a little bit. Okay, cool. Like I said, at the end of the round, you will be able to force Madam Maldivere out, but not before Madam Maldivere does 3 more points of IQ damage. So temporarily, Sam, your IQ is down by 5 temporarily at this point. Madam Maldivere will try to do an ecto attack because she can against Tori, and she will be able to do 3 points of penetrating damage to Tori.
Okay.
Sam, you've just been broken out of possession, so you won't be able to act this round. I will allow Thistle, Star, and Frankie to act normally.
I'm gonna let go of Sam so he can recover, and I'm actually gonna look at Frankie. Remember how we stopped Jim in my world? Salt. And I'm gonna let him go, and I'm gonna try to hit her with my proton pack just to slow her down again.
Sure. Go ahead and fire. She's not hit by a proton pack at the moment, so take a -2 with disadvantage, unfortunately. -2 with disadvantage to try to hit her.
It
Okay.
hits, it works.
It hits.
Ace.
It hurts. All right, you'll hit her, and but she's still strong, so you need more help to keep her. But she's at least hit by 1 beam. Frankie and Star, whatever you want to do. Star, you're free. Thanks to your man. Thanks to your man. You're free.
Star will say, "Thanks, Teddy," and he'll be like, he's gonna also do the same thing. I have to do a disadvantage, you said? So I have to roll again?
Not anymore.
No.
Now that you hit her with 1 beam, you don't have a disadvantage, just a -2 penalty.
Okay, so I succeed barely, but
Cool.
yeah.
So the second beam, she still feels strong, so you feel like you need more help, but you feel like you're halfway there. You feel like you're halfway there. So, Frankie, you can go.
Frankie will pull out his Senshi Ball
Nice.
and transform with salt flavor power change up.
Yes.
And
Can you? So I know that the original transformation was kind of already like this, but can you make an even sluttier version of your transformation than it already was? An even more sluttier.
yes, of course I can make an even sluttier version. Are you kidding? So as he changes, he's still wearing that jumpsuit.
Yeah.
His body starts to grow into his ultramarine form and push out all the clothes, like buttons pop open, like boom, zippers explode, pop, and like the fabric just starts to tear apart at the most perfect places. And then afterwards he's left with his little tank top version of this outfit as his muscles have just torn through, and again lights are just going around like a disco, and he does his little kind of like more of a sexier dance, very Sailor Moon style, with his arms on his legs, and finally he's standing there with his ultramarine form, and he shoots out salt, all creating a circle, trying to encircle Madam Belvedere. Is that right? Belvedere?
Yeah.
Circling her with this salt circle.
I almost, just because I feel like it's appropriate, like when you do your stance, I almost want the coat rack to strategically place itself between your legs, but I don't know if that's a little too. I don't know if that's going too far.
Just a call back to the strategically placed crowbar.
Yeah, it's strategically placed hat rack. With maybe it does, but the hat is covering, it's been covered.
Oh, or maybe it could just be that the rack is kind of behind, and he just lands, and he's just
Yes, I like that. Okay, then you do your attack, which is the one again. You do the salt attack.
Do a salt encircling the ghost witch.
Yes, you will create this salt circle around her, and she is officially trapped, so she can't get out. She's got 2 beams hitting her, and then. I think that's everybody for this round, right? Did everybody get a chance to act this round? All right, next round. What happens next round?
I'm maintaining the beam,
You're maintaining the beam.
keeping
Okay.
her in place.
Same.
I think we need more beams.
Sam, what do you do?
I'll make sure my neutron pack is on.
Yep.
Just call out, all right, this chick is toast, and beam her up.
Nice. Roll your guns. Go roll your guns, firearms, whatever.
Beam her up, Sammy.
Oh yeah.
So you've got 3 beams plus the salt ring ready. She seems to be very vulnerable now, and she's like pounding. She's trying to free herself, but she's not able to free herself. So here's the thing, Tori. You feel like you have 2 choices. You can either let somebody trap her, or you feel like in this state, you could just outright destroy her.